Good morning. This is the trail down Bear Mountain. Don't get excited. That's B-E-A-R. And I'm going to break here to talk a new anime.
Lupin III, First Contact.
Lupin III, Episode 0, First Contact, is a light-action adventure anime TV special made back in 2002 on the 30th anniversary of the popular anime character's debut. It gives the previously untold story of how Lupin and his friends first met, at least as told by one of the characters. Lupin is based on a long-running manga by Monkey Punch. It premiered as an anime TV series in 1971 and spawned several sequel series, a large number of TV specials, some OVAs, and plenty of theatrical releases, and even the occasional live-action flick. This story starts with a woman trying to write a biography of Lupin's many exploits. Lupin III is a notorious international thief, a con man, a master of disguise, and a shameless womanizer. He's also a criminal with a heart who can't resist a damsel in distress, and he's the hero of these stories. Since the would-be author can't interview Lupin himself, he tracks down one of his closest accomplices, Jii-san. Jii-san always seems very relaxed and lazy, but he's a fast and deadly gunslinger. His story of the past begins in New York, and the rest of this movie is that flashback. It seems Lupin and Jii-san first met while they were both criminals, but on opposite sides. Lupin wanted to steal a dubious artifact called the Clam of Hermes from a mobster named Galvez, and Jii-san was that mobster's bodyguard. Galvez also has another henchman, nicknamed Shade for his sunglasses, who seems more interested in testing whether Jii-san is actually as fast with a gun as his reputation says. Meanwhile, the unbelievably sexy Fujiko is also planning a heist of that same MacGuffin on her own. So, Lupin's first meeting with Fujiko, as she arrives on her signature motorcycle, will be like many subsequent meetings that will follow as friendly rivals. Japanese police inspector Zenigata has just arrived in New York. In a twist from every other Lupin, it's Fujiko he's pursuing in this first encounter, not Lupin, at least at first. Zenigata is an overzealous lawman, strict and persistent. Goemon is the last of the Lupin III regulars to make an appearance. Goemon is a distant descendant of a legendary samurai, and he does impossible things with his sword. His incredible steel-cutting sword that he uses in the other episodes, Zentetsugen, will be used in this plot. All these characters begin in this story as strangers to one another, but that's not going to last long.
そのままにしといてくれ。俺は気が短いんだ。
There are some parallels between the Lupin III franchise and James Bond's adventures. Both series are now over 40 years old. Like Bond and many comic book characters, Lupin remains perpetually young while the world around him advances with the times. Both like improbable gadgets, stunts, and escapes, and the various productions vary a lot in tone and style from one to another, though Lupin is by far the sillier and more outlandish of the two. Like most Lupin III films, First Contact starts with a quick heist, ending in a big chase scene for the opening credits, and then we get down to the real story. Like most of Lupin's adventures, this early heist will be full of unexpected complications. There will be rival thieves trying to steal this Clam of Hermes thing, not to mention the henchmen Shade and Jii-san trying to take it back, and it will change hands several times over the course of the movie. It will also turn out that to actually open this treasure, Lupin will have to steal yet another artifact, and there will be captives to rescue and justice to be served. Well, selective justice anyway. The usual questions with a Lupin III movie are, how slapstick will the comedy be? How serious will the melodrama be? How chivalrous will Lupin be? And how slutty will Fujiko be? First Contact keeps the dials on all these set to medium throughout. Like all Lupin stories, First Contact is half caper adventure and half slapstick comedy. It moves regularly between light action scenes and absurd chases. This movie is mostly about the creation of relationships between the main characters, whose future together Lupin fans already know. Lupin and Jii-san start off as deadly opponents, and it's amusing how Lupin's refusal to finish a fight finally frustrates Jii-san into grudging respect. Goemon will soon share Jii-san's exasperation. Lupin and Fujiko develop a seemingly friendly rapport right off the bat, even as they double and triple cross each other. And just about every possible pairing of these characters will face off at some time or another in the movie. First Contact has a mostly humorous tone, plus some witty dialogue. It also has a lot of little touches, homages to previous Lupin adventures that, since it's all flashback, I suppose are really homages to future Lupin adventures.
何をするんです？
測ったな、ルパン三世。
さすがだな、銭形警部。
ありゃー、もうだ。これ待て。
The animation of First Contact is only mildly cartoonish, using character design similar to the earlier Lupin TV specials, probably because it's an anniversary special. It's only a TV movie, so its animation budget doesn't compare to a theatrical release, but then Lupin's never been eye candy, and it's a pretty well-done TV outing. The music is also an echo of Lupin's earlier days, with a jazzy beat for the interior soundtrack, and a few incongruous vocals over the action. Lupin has perhaps the lamest theme song of any long-running anime. Perhaps because Lupin isn't far removed from some American light crime adventure series, it's never been particularly popular among US anime fans. I find the quality of the movies varies greatly from splendid gems such as Castle Cagliostro and the Fuma Conspiracy, to some others that fall a little short. For me, the most important question is how chivalrous will Lupin be? I'm a sucker for high romance, and I think Lupin is at his best when he's doing good by being bad. I give First Contact 4.5 stars as an especially enjoyable romp in Lupin's unusual world. For Lupin III's fans, it's an origin story we've always been curious about, even if it is told from a perspective that might make some of the details suspect, and it's a fun caper film just to watch, even if you're not all that familiar with the characters. Lupin III, Episode 0, First Contact, was finally released in North America in 2010, 8 years after it was made. It's from Filmworks, who seem to be the same folks as Discotek, who rescued the Lupin III Fuma Conspiracy U.S. license a few years back. It's subtitled only, without an English dub, but it does have an English commentary track from Reed Nelson of the Lupin III fan site. Thanks for watching.